Hello, second graders. Welcome to Science with me, Miss Taylor. Today, I wanted to read a story about tornadoes. So, this is a story that is by Gail Gibbons, and she is an author who writes a lot of interesting books about nonfiction topics. So, nonfiction means real, true, and so even though the pictures in this book are drawings, the information is true and it's real about tornadoes. So let's find out about tornadoes. The word tornado comes from the Spanish word tronada, meaning thunderstorm. I didn't know that. It is raining hard, the winds are strong, the sky is dark. Suddenly, a twisting column of moist air reaches down from a cloud and touches the ground. It makes a loud, roaring sound. It is a tornado. And we know that in order to have a tornado and a thunderstorm, you need warm, moist air. So you need the air to be warm, and there has to be water vapor in the air. Ooh, there's lightning, and there's a cumulonimbus cloud. Cumulonimbus, right. And there's some rain and hail. Ooh, hail is frozen rain in the form of ice pellets, which may be the size of golf balls or even larger. Tornadoes begin inside storm clouds called cumulonimbus clouds, which are made up of warm, moist air. These large, dark clouds can grow to be tall and enormous. There is lightning, thunder, rain, hail, and high winds. Yeah, and a lot of times, students, when we're in the classroom, when we're talking about this kind of storm cloud, I like to make a motion with my hands like this to show the cumulonimbus are these storm clouds that often grow vertically. That means up and down. So I like to say cumulonimbus. Can you try it? Cumulonimbus. Yeah. It's kind of fun. When warm, humid air rises from the ground toward a dark cumulonimbus thunderhead, it creates an updraft that pulls more warm, humid air with it. When the air rises to where the temperature is cooler, condensation occurs, creating rain or hail. The cool air falls back toward Earth, creating a downdraft. So that warm, moist air goes up into this updraft. And then as it goes up into the air, that warm, moist air cools down, condenses, and then forms clouds, which form rain or hail. And then they fall down. That cooler air comes back down, and it's that difference in temperature that can really cause some interesting weather. Ooh, look at that. If the updraft and the downdraft come together and start to spin, this is where it gets interesting. A funnel-shaped cloud forms inside the thunderhead and sometimes tilts into a funnel that reaches down toward the ground. All right, so there's that warm air going up and the cold air coming down, and they start to kind of twist and spin together. And then you can kind of see it's sort of like an upside down funnel, and it can turn so that the funnel goes down. As the funnel cloud spins faster and faster, it sucks up more and more warm air and becomes bigger and louder and more powerful. If it touches the ground, a tornado is born. Here it says tornadoes may occur at any time of the year if the weather conditions are right. And usually in Minnesota, this would happen during what time of year? Mostly summer. Yeah, when we have that warm, humid air. In 1971, T. Theodore Fujita developed the Fujita tornado scale, rating tornadoes on a scale from F0 to F5. Since then, the scale has been enhanced. setting stricter standards for measuring damage. Starting February 1st, 2007, the enhanced Fujita tornado scale has been used to classify tornadoes from EF0 to EF5. So this is how meteorologists talk about tornadoes and how they rate them, from like one that's not very bad, very damaging, to one that causes a lot of destruction. So here we have the letter F represents Fujita, and he is the scientist and the meteorologist who developed this scale. The letter E represents enhanced, so they kind of made a new system in 2007. So there would be an example of maybe an EF0, so a tornado that doesn't cause a lot of damage, to an EF5. And this is kind of the worst type of tornado. Classifications are mostly based on the amount and type of damage caused. There's no way yet to directly measure the winds in every tornado. What do you think this is? Why can't we measure them? Yeah, you wouldn't want to get right in the middle of a tornado to measure the wind speed, would you? I wouldn't. Wind speeds are estimates only and are based on the severity of the damage. No matter how big or little a tornado is or how long it lasts on the ground, it is likely to cause damage. Some pictures of some damage that a tornado can cause. All right, so here is the enhanced Fujita tornado scale, EF0 tornadoes. So we're going to learn about how scientists and meteorologists classify tornadoes. EF0 tornadoes may have wind speeds between 65 miles per hour and 85 miles per hour. And then it also tells us how many kilometers per hour. So in other parts of the world, they measure speed in kilometers. So between 65 and 85 miles per hour. They can damage chimneys, break limbs off trees, and blow over shallow-rooted trees. Now, EF1 tornadoes may have wind speeds between 86 miles per hour and 110 miles per hour. They can peel the surface off roofs and overturn small trucks and mobile homes. And mobile homes are those houses that don't really have like basements to secure them into the ground. Yikes. And don't worry, scholars, at the end of this book, it's going to talk to us about how to be safe in a tornado. So this book kind of is just giving some information about what could happen, but we know we can be safe if there's a tornado. So EF2 tornadoes may have wind speeds between 111 miles per hour and 136 miles per hour. Oh dear, they're getting worse. They can tear the whole roof off a frame house, demolish mobile homes, and snap or uproot large trees. Yikes. Oh dear. EF3 tornadoes may have wind speeds between 137 miles per hour and 166 miles per hour. Holy moly, that is so fast. If you think about how fast a car goes on a highway or freeway, that would be sort of back here to like the EF0 tornadoes, where they go 65 miles per hour. That's like a car going fast on a highway. This, 137 to 166 miles per hour? Oh my goodness, that is just way faster than cars can travel. Yikes. They can uproot a forest and lift heavy cars off the ground. Wow, that is some powerful wind. Oh dear. EF4 tornadoes may have wind speeds between 167 miles per hour and 200 miles per hour. Wow, that is really even hard to imagine. Oh dear, look at all the damage. They can demolish well-constructed houses, leaving few walls standing. Other structures may be blown off their foundations and moved some distance. Yikes. Oh dear, and here's the worst kind, the one that causes the most damage, an EF5 tornado. They are the most violent tornadoes. They have wind speeds of 201 miles per hour and more. Wow, so like over 200 miles per hour winds. Yikes. Well-constructed houses are lifted off their foundations, carried away, and totally destroyed. Trains have been lifted off their tracks. The devastation is so extreme that it's hard to believe. Boy, I hope we don't have many of these. All right. So here is some interesting information about something called Tornado Alley. There are 2 regions in the United States that experience tornadoes frequently. One region is in the middle section of the country, where most of the violent tornadoes occur. It is often referred to as Tornado Alley. In this area, most of the tornadoes occur during April, May, and June. Oh, so like April would be kind of like springtime and into summer. So April, May, and June. So here is this area in the middle of our country. So here's the United States. Here's Canada. Here's the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. And this area right in the middle is called Tornado Alley because this is where most tornadoes happen. And we are located, let's see, where is Minnesota on this map? I see South Dakota. I know right above South Dakota is North Dakota. And then we are right here. Yeah, here's Minnesota. And we can see there's Lake Superior. We are right next to Lake Superior. There's Duluth. So right here is Minnesota. So we are very close to Tornado Alley, but not technically part of it. The other is the state of Florida. There's Florida, where most tornadoes occur during January, February, and March. The United States has about 1,200 tornadoes a year, more than any other country. Did you know that? The United States has more tornadoes than any other country. This one. On May 3rd, 1999, 96 tornadoes ravaged parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and South Dakota. If the EF scale had been in effect when the tornadoes occurred, some of the most destructive ones may have been classified EF5. Oh dear, and there is that Tornado Alley. The damage in the Oklahoma City area alone was valued at more than $1 billion. So the tornado caused so much damage. It was like the amount of homes and cars that were destroyed, $1 billion worth of damage. Wow. On the afternoon of March 18th, 1925, a record-breaking tornado devastated parts of Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. It is called the Great Tri-State Tornado. Ooh, tri means 3. Tri-state tornado. So these 3 states, there's a big tornado that went through. An estimated 695 people died. It is believed that 606 people died in Illinois alone. The tornado was on the ground for 3 hours and 29 minutes and traveled 217 miles. If the EF scale had been in effect at this time, this tornado also may have been classified EF5. Yeah, so usually second graders, tornadoes are only on the ground for like a few seconds. They kind of just touch down and then they lift back up. But this tornado was on the ground a long time, 3 hours. Wow. Meteorologists are on constant watch to predict and warn people of dangerous storms that may produce tornadoes. They study computer data and radar screens. So here's some meteorologists, and they are studying the weather and watching the radar so that they can warn the rest of us and make sure that we can all be safe. The National Weather Service reports to television and radio stations if they see the possibilities of tornadoes forming. This information is broadcasted every 15 minutes to give people some time to prepare. What to do when a tornado approaches. All right, so I mentioned this book has some kind of frightening pictures in it, but we can be safe in a tornado if we follow the guidelines. If your house has a basement, go to it at once. So basement is a safe place because it's kind of underneath the ground. If you're in a house without a basement, go to an interior closet or bathroom far away from outside walls. So you want to be away from those outside walls and be like in the most interior of your house. Crouch down low and cover your head with your hands. Stay away from windows and outside walls. Try to cover yourself with a mattress or heavy blankets for protection from falling debris. Debris is like things that would break apart and could fall on you. So they are safe under the mattress. If you can, crouch under a set of stairs. This is also a very safe place to be because stairs are built very strong. If you are in a car, get out immediately. Try to find a low spot, such as a ditch, to lie in. Lie flat on your stomach and cover your head with your hands. After the tornado, be careful of fallen electrical wires, broken glass, and unsafe structures. Try to have an adult help you. You can always ask an adult for help. All right. And that is the end of our story. And it has some more information in this nonfiction book. And again, this is by Gail Gibbons. She writes a lot of interesting nonfiction books. It tells us that most tornadoes occur in the afternoon. Most tornadoes last less than 10 minutes. So tornadoes are usually pretty quick. Most tornadoes rotate counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere. That's where we live. And clockwise in the southern hemisphere. That's south of the equator. That's interesting. So they rotate in a different direction. Where we live, they rotate counterclockwise. That would be this way, like the opposite of how the clock turns. And then in the bottom part of the earth, the southern hemisphere, they rotate clockwise. In the United States, only the National Weather Service issues tornado forecasts nationwide. Tornadoes have occurred in all 50 states of the USA. Funnel clouds form over water, too. When they touch down on water, they are called water spouts. So they can happen over water, too. Most tornadoes are classified EF0 or EF1. EF5 tornadoes are very rare. That means they don't happen very much. So most tornadoes are EF0 or EF1. But like I said, if we follow the safety guidelines, listen to the adults who are helping to keep us safe, and listening to the meteorologists, we can be safe in a tornado. Thank you for listening, scholars. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about these interesting tornadoes.